How much is it?
It'll be $18.
Here you go. Keep the change. Hi, doggy.
Excuse me, it's ma'am. It is ma'am.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and hey, I know a lot of you watch my videos that aren't subscribed. My hope is that after you watch today's video, that I will have earned your subscription, and there's a little button right below the video to subscribe. That way you can get notified when I upload new videos. You can more easily find that day's videos, since I upload 4 to 5 in a day. And if nothing else, there was a cat, so hopefully that will work for you. Now, lots of new Naughty Dog news over the weekend, including a disastrous Mother's Day tweet that we'll get to. But leading up into that, it looks like a lot of the marketing around The Last of Us 2 is starting to grind the gears of some game journalists. We see this article here on thegamer.com. Fetishizing grief is a crappy marketing ploy for The Last of Us Part 2. Why are the writers of this marketing material so focused on the issue of the dogs? Now, this is, again, really more about GameStop. A recent promotional email from GameStop about The Last of Us 2 has come under fire after highlighted areas of the game's narrative, which it alleges it forces players to deal with dogs. The marketing text that claims the game goes on to make players feel guilty and horrified by their actions by naming the dogs and loving owners and showing their grief on screen. The tone of the passage is particularly worrying, as using playful puns, it seems to take joy in the fact that players are apparently forced to experience this nightmare. Naughty Dog has since stated that the text is not from them, and they wouldn't write something about our game that's in that kind of tone. In terms of the issue of compulsory canine deletion, a PlayStation blog about the gameplay says, quote, "Getting jumped by a dog is not only nerve-wracking and dangerous, it presents players with the moral choice of whether they flee or take it out. Naughty Dog confirms that you don't have to delete these animals to progress. So assuming the dogs don't actually have to be harmed in order to progress, why are the writers of this marketing material so focused on the issue of compulsory canine deletion? It seems that the author's text was aiming for sensationalism, exploiting and fetishizing grief as a cheap marketing ploy to generate attention." Okay, so game journalists wrote it. The original text can be seen below. Now, the idea that someone thought forcing players to experience grief, loss, and distress was a great marketing tool makes us fear for the morals of anyone involved in this decision. Well, you know, ultimately Naughty Dog did program it into the game, and Naughty Dog themselves has been on the record as saying, we don't use the word fun. Naughty Dog doesn't design, if I bring that up, we don't use the word fun, says Last of Us 2 director Neil Druckmann. For us, The Last of Us, specifically Uncharted, is a little different in our creative approaches. We don't use the word fun, Druckmann told BuzzFeed. When asked if the team ever tries to make the combat less serious, we say engaging. And it might seem like a minor distinction, but it's an important one to us. We believe that if we're invested in the character and the relationships, that in their goal, we're going to go along on their journey with them and maybe even do things that make us uncomfortable across moral lines. Now, that is, I think, a decent feature of a video game if you want people to be really invested and make your game really memorable. But you can go too far into making people feel like, you know, they feel bad playing your video game. I don't think that that's something I would want to do. Of course, Naughty Dog can make the game that they want to make. Speaking of that, the voice actor for Joel has responded over the leaks. Troy Baker, the actor behind the main protagonist Joel from The Last of Us, has responded to the huge leaks that revealed multiple plot points. Few games of the this is via Deserto.com. Few games of the past decade have anticipated as anticipated as Naughty Dog's The Last of Us 2. Really? It seems unlikely. Cyberpunk was pretty high in demand. The acclaimed Californian studio confirmed the sequel back in 2016, but has been hit by multiple delays. A June 2020 release date has finally been settled, but more monumental leaks then surfaced on the internet, spoiling the game for many and saving a bunch of money for others. Naughty Dog and its studio lead Neil Druckmann have responded multiple times to the leaks by asking players to stick with them and avoid spoilers the best they can. Good luck. On May 9th, Joel actor Troy Baker also broke his silence regarding the game's leaks, explaining why he doesn't think they matter. "Oh, dude, what does it matter?" he said during an Instagram Q&A. "Look, if you think that the game, The Last of Us 2, can be ruined by a couple of screenshots, really? Oh, come on, dude. Come on. This is not a genuine take. First of all, it's way more than just a couple of screenshots. It's long cutscenes that carry almost the entirety of the narrative of the game. It's leaks that get endlessly posted to Twitter accounts that make playing the game 100% irrelevant. You already know everything's going to happen. It'd be like, for example, you know when you watch a movie that somebody's been telling you for years was, you know, everybody around you says this movie's amazing, but you already know how it ends. You know, sure, people paid a lot of money to see Titanic because of Leonardo DiCaprio. So, you know, and you always knew the boat was going to sink at the end. But I think that this is a little different. He goes on to say, "Think 6 years of development can be undone by that? It's a game. It's a game. You have to experience it. That's all I'm going to say." Essentially, Baker's arguing that upcoming Naughty Dog title is so deep and engaging that some leaked screenshots do nothing to detract from the game's impact and the level of enjoyment players will get from it. Naughty Dog are indeed one of the most acclaimed game studios of all time, with nearly every title they've released receiving overwhelming critical praise. The Last of Us 2 is set to drop on PlayStation 4, barring any further delays. Well, I don't believe that Naughty Dog isn't going to get a lot of praise for this game. I think that there's elements of this game, in my opinion, that were designed to pander to very specific people, and that's their right to do. But the quid pro quo of that is that games journalists will talk about how this game was so stunning and brave. Awards do not equate to sales, and it's going to be interesting to see if sales are really affected. There's a lot of people pushing back now that are saying, you know, hey, this isn't going to bother me. I'm still going to buy the game. I've seen a lot of people post screenshots of their canceled pre-orders. So it's difficult to really know exactly what's going to happen. But we do know anytime Naughty Dog tweets, puts out a Facebook post, it's going to be a hilarious mess in the comments. And again, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Memeing, I think, is fine. You know, mean-spiritedly spoiling the game to people who don't want to be spoiled, that sucks. I mean, I'm not your dad, so whatever. But, I mean, like, if I had a friend of mine who was still looking forward to it and had no idea about the leaks, there is 0% chance that I would ruin it for them. You know, even if it was somebody that I truly hated, I mean, I might consider it. But I think I would probably come around near the end. But earlier today, Naughty Dog said, "From all of us at Naughty Dog, we're wishing you a wonderful Mother's Day." And interestingly, the tweet does not have very much interaction for an account with 3 million followers, but nonetheless, you see the typical stuff here. Thanks, good. Who's Joel's wife? Happy Mother's Day to all moms. You see somebody said that they pre-order the game. Happy almost bankrupt day. Rewrite The Last of Us 2. That's good. That's a good. Cringe. It's Mammers Day. They're not getting all of them. But look at all of the responses they've had to hide. This is what they're going to have to deal with now. People taking every single major plot point of the video game, posting it. I'm not going to click on that. Again, I'm talking about the main key thrust that most people know, but it's not my intent to ruin every little part of the game. Thumbs up to all the mothers who treated their children better than you treated yours. And then we got don't attack Ellie head on. We've got this saying keep hiding the replies. It's ma'am part 2. Why did you block me? I didn't show any leak footage, so they're blocking people now. Oh, well, it's your name. That's obviously why. I don't get it. Let's see. More leaks, more ma'am jokes. I mean, it's just, it's a total trash fire anytime they post. I don't think that Naughty Dog is going to be able to tweet. I don't know how long people are going to stick it to them. I mean, if we go back to the May 8th one, just how many they've hidden here is insane. You got just, oh. See, I think they disappear when they block you. Because ultimately, I looked at this thread the other day, and there were probably 50 in here. Now, you just see a few. So, or maybe their accounts are getting reported. It's difficult to say. Certainly, the amount of mess that The Last of Us 2 is generating isn't going to get smaller anytime soon. It's going to be interesting to see if they decide to start taking videos down again. It's going to be interesting to see if they continue to block people, which, by the way, I think they, of course, have every right to do that. If people are just going there and posting spoilers, it's fine. I mean, I think by now, if you're watching a video on The Last of Us 2, and particularly a spoiler like this one, you know that you're going to see certain things that happen in the game. People that know that they don't want to be spoiled are going out of their way to avoid it. Good luck. I got spoiled within minutes. And this happened with The Last Jedi too. And spoilers kind of suck. I mean, I don't like it. I mean, it's funny. Something can be funny, but you can still disavow. I think that's kind of how I feel about the Last of Us situation at this point. It's going to be interesting if, you know, we see Neil Druckmann. Remember the other day when he was playing the victim, saying like, oh, well, I'm getting all sorts of mean tweets at me. So, you know, reasons. You know, if we look at Neil's Twitter, he's not really getting it as bad. He's not hiding anybody. He's apparently, you know, he's obviously getting roasted, but nonetheless, he's at least taken it with a grain of salt. Happy 4th anniversary, Uncharted. So hopefully Neil will keep his head down, not engage negatively with the fandom. People will forget about this. People will still buy your game. And, you know, hey, what can I say? I'm still going to be here to cover it. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.